Hi everyone, today I want to talk about the 5 regions in Zenith, The Last City, the upcoming MMO JRPG that's going to be released for virtual reality consoles and on Steam VR. The main 5 regions that we know about so far at least, and I imagine will be the core areas of the game to begin, as it initially is released, starting May 3rd, 2021. For alpha players, that is. There will be an opening weekend for the creators and Kickstarter funders as well. The 5 main regions are the Fractured Plains, the Radiant Coast, the Emerald Desert, Amarite Forest, and of course, the namesake of the game, Zenith. These 5 regions are very diverse and they have their own very interesting characteristics that I think will make the game really fun. So whatever your appetite is for the type of setting you like an adventure to be in, I think you'll probably be appeased. Zenith is the most powerful city in the continent. It's renowned for technological advancements, economic prosperity, and luxurious cityscape. The Zenithian government closed its city borders for several years after events of the fracture. And they reopened those borders later on, and tourism in Zenith proliferated and the city became a significant cultural landmark. Then, from what I've seen in the level design, it looks really cool. It reminds me of a lot of city type levels that you'd see in JRPGs. It reminds me a bit of animes such as Yu-Gi-Oh!, maybe Sword Art Online, even a little bit of Phantasy Star Online, which is a game that I really like. I like Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 plus. Played that for GameCube, a bit for Dreamcast, and I'll still emulate it every now and again these days. But yeah, the city reminds me of that. It's kind of a classic JRPG type city area. Really well done, really, really beautiful. I'm excited to play that. The developers of the game, Ramen VR, they released a bit of footage showing, a camera run through of the city. So you can take a look at that here. Really cool stuff. I'm really excited for it. I think the city looks great. I can't wait to play. The next region is the Fractured Plains, and the Fractured Plains contain remnants of the past from the pre-fracture era. Nature has gradually reclaimed the area over the past 65 years, and some of the small villages have been restored. Disparate groups of exiled people who were banished from Zenith and the fracture reside in remote areas of the plains. The rural towns serve as an agricultural resource for Zenith. Now, the Fractured Plains, they're an area that hasn't really been released officially, or footage of which hasn't been really released officially by Ramen VR yet. But I took a look at some of the walkthroughs they did, and a lot of, in one of the walkthroughs where they showed some of the combat and a sneak peek of dungeons and things like that, I saw an area that seems like it might be the plains. So, you know, this is what it might look like. I could be wrong, but
Butterfly. We'll come back to this area in a moment. Just so we can level up a little quicker.
you can see the city in the background there, so, you know, that kind of makes me think that, you know, when they mention the agricultural areas, or they mention the rural towns as an agricultural resource for Zenith, seeing these little houses and things like that, as well as the city nearby, makes me think that that's probably the Fractured Plains. I could be wrong, we'll see, I suppose. The next area is the Radiant Coast. The Radiant Coast, located in the northern corner of the continent, is known for its tranquil seaside towns, gorgeous coastal shorelines, and lush jungles. The villages survive comfortably by engaging in the lucrative fishing trade and exporting technology overseas. There's imminent danger off shores. Vicious bandits raid the coastlines, and strange aquatic creatures attack anyone who dares to wander in their territory. The next region is the Emerald Desert. It's characterized by old ruins and relics of the past from the pre-fracture era, which are buried in the sand throughout this area. The largest airship port in the continent once existed in the desert until a fracture destroyed most of its structures. This used to be an economically prosperous area with innovative technology, airship trading, and natural mineral resources. Amarite Forest is another region in the world of Zenith, the Last City. The secluded woods there are home to the Amarites. The Amarites are a group of tribes who revere the goddess Amara, the naturalistic god who gave shape, form, and base instinct to the creatures of Zenith. The Amarites live in harmony with their surroundings, and they erected the Amarite temple to worship Amara's divinity. So aside from the Radiant Coast and Zenith, the city itself, we weren't really given direct footage, direct camera run-throughs of the other areas. However, there were some screenshots provided, you know, as you saw in the earlier descriptions of the levels. Additionally, having watched the trailer, you can see some or small amounts of footage of those levels, which I also included in the descriptions or during the descriptions. I think that these 5 regions are really interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of story behind them, and I'm really excited to learn more about the lore of the game and explore these regions to their fullest. I'm really looking forward to finding treasures, going through dungeons, finding Easter eggs if the developers left any for the players of the game, and then additionally, you know, maybe one day getting an airship. That'd be pretty sweet. I do wonder about the airship that was shown in the trailer and a few other areas. I think that, you know, it'd be really cool if everyone could have one, but I also wonder if that would be, you know, problematic. If there's a lot of players, that would be really interesting to see how they handled that. You know, and maybe not everyone can have one. Maybe the airship is actually like a ferry. So I suppose we'll see what type of airship use is allowed for. All I know is that, you know, it'd be really cool to have one. It'd be, you know, a sky pirate, an air pirate. You know, and that airship actually was one of the things that made this trailer and this game remind me a bit of Skies of Arcadia. So I'm really excited to play that and see what these 5 regions have to offer. You know, how they are connected to each other. You know, how they're connected to the fracture, which is a slightly ambiguous thing that's mentioned in the trailer that I'm really excited to learn more about. I think that's going to be a core storyline component regarding the game. So, you know, as I explore these and as we learn more about the story and stuff like that, I'm definitely going to be creating more videos regarding the lore of Zenith the Last City, because I think that's really interesting, and I think that to really engage in the story is going to make it that much more an immersive experience. I think that it being VR, honestly, as odd as it is, it even adds to it as a JRPG, because, you know, there are a lot of JRPGs that sort of have stories that revolve around, you know, virtual worlds, virtual reality. You know, there's tons of them. Dot Hack, Digimon, obviously Sword Art Online, and, you know, many others. There were some, I think, a few Yu-Gi-Oh seasons, maybe some Pokemon ones as well. I don't quite recall, but, you know, there's a lot of JRPGs that, you know, include the digital world, and the idea that us as players are donning headsets and going into this virtual world of Zenith the Last City, I think that it adds to it as a story, and it sort of extends the story in the virtual reality to the real world itself. So, you know, I think it'll be that much more enjoyable for the players. I think that, you know, in the future we might find that, you know, LARPing, live action role playing, is heavily integrated with augmented reality and virtual reality, because, you know, the possibilities of immersion and enjoyment for those involved in, you know, the live action role playing and the wonderful escapism that it brings people, you know, it's just great stuff. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about, you know, the levels that they have so far, and I'm really excited to play through them when the game comes out May 3rd for alpha testers. And I think that, you know, it's just gonna be really fun. These levels look great. The Ramen VR team did a great job. They look beautiful to me, and playing them is gonna be, you know, even more exciting. So if you like this video, you know, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed and you want to subscribe, you know, I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.